Is he unlocking capability for his competitors? Yes, he is.
Ark Invest chief futurist was on TV to talk about Tesla stock. Let's take a look at the full segment.
Tesla's rally is looking virtually unstoppable. Now that I've said that, it'll probably stop, but whatever.
Well, it didn't stop yesterday, and we'll see what it does today.
Will Elon Musk's gravy train of money continue? And where does Tesla go from here? Let's get to our panel on all this. Joining us is Tim Higgins, CNBC contributor and the Wall Street Journal's Tesla reporter, Bethany McLean, CNBC contributor and Vanity Fair contributing editor, and Brett Winton, Ark Invest chief futurist. Tim, did Elon Musk just corner the market in charging?
Possibly. It's another example that his technology is kind of winning the day and winning the future here as everybody's trying to catch up. The question I think a lot of people have and that I have is, kind of what's the next step? Can he continue to have this advantage as the rest of the industry, is on his heels? And, we'll see that and kind of get a taste of that kind of towards the end of the year with the Cybertruck. Can they launch that without kind of having the headaches that we've seen in the last 2 years with the other products, such as the Model 3, which really kind of gave huge headaches and made Elon Musk sleep on the factory floor?
Despite all of that, the Model 3 has been a massive success. The Model 3 shares most of its parts with the Model Y, which is now the #1 selling vehicle in the whole world. At least it was in Q1 of this year, and likely it will remain there because Tesla is increasing its production, so we would expect Tesla to sell more Model Ys towards the end of the year, not less.
Brett, what is your take on Musk, on charging?
Why kind of a vertical integration strategy is the right strategy particularly during a platform transition. The reason their charging network is better and more reliable is because it's designed with the manufacturability of the vehicles and the deployment of the charging stations in mind. And so it's just a better product, and their competitors realized that and had to get on board to the standard that was actually working in the marketplace.
Stellantis, which owns many brands like Chrysler and Jeep, is seemingly now considering using the Tesla connector as well, and James thinks they will capitulate within weeks. But I would not underestimate how incompetent these companies can be. You would think that they would have been making so many EVs by now, but yet they are not. They should make a deal right now, immediately really, but we'll see. No doubt though, many companies will follow GM and Ford and make a deal with Tesla.
Did Elon Musk just become the John Rockefeller of electric cars? Is he now the Standard Oil of electricity?
Well, possibly. And I think you have to give Musk huge kudos for building a charging network that works and is reliable and is the one that everybody wants. But I also think it's worth stepping back and looking at his motives for doing this deal. And it's not clear that they were purely strategic in the sense of how great it is for Tesla shareholders to open this crown jewel of the charging network to competitors. When the White House announced that Tesla would open its charging network to third parties back in February, Car and Driver wrote this: the company needs to adopt availability to earn a slice of the $7.5 billion in federal charging infrastructure spending, which they would otherwise see none of. And that they noted Elon Musk didn't just have a dramatic change of heart. So I find Musk's anti-government pose more than a little bit annoying. And I think that this deal does come with some risks, right? If you're a Tesla driver, are you now annoyed that you see GM and Ford cars in your queue? And does it mean that Tesla just lost the crown jewel of the main a reason that you would buy a Tesla instead of a Ford or a GM because of the superior charging network? And is getting a monopoly, becoming the John D. Rockefeller of the charging network, is that worth what they've given up?
If GM and Ford actually made much better EVs that would be at least as good as Tesla EVs, and if these EVs were actually better or cheaper in some cases, then I would say, yeah, maybe we should worry about that. But right now, no. I just really don't see it, especially in the US where Tesla has more than 50% of the total EV market share. I am definitely not worried because more EVs on the roads in the US will mean more Tesla EVs in the US.
what you saw in China when the government allowed Tesla to go in there in a really big way is that it really helped inspire other EV rivals in that country to kind of up their game. And I wonder if by GM and Ford endorsing the Tesla way, that it kind of inspires some of these charging rivals to kind of start improving that experience. One of the challenges here in the US using the charging network out there that's not Tesla is that a lot of people have problems with it. Maybe not reliable, not dependable to go on a car trip. And, even Ford's CEO, Jim Farley, noted the other day when he was talking about why they were going with Tesla's standard and partnering with them was because he was on a road trip with his kids with a Ford vehicle, and they couldn't find a place. They were going past all these Tesla chargers.
Listen, hold on. Back that up. Back that thing on up. All right, so I want you to go into that. And I've done these road trips. By the way, I spent most of this week driving 2 different EVs, and I kind of poke around the different chargers. The CEO of Ford had trouble finding a charging station that either worked or was good enough?
That's right. Before, if anyone else wanted to buy an EV that's not a Tesla, I would tell them, hey, look, if you're planning to go on any road trips at all, don't even bother, just get a Tesla for yourself. I won't be saying that anymore, but I think most of them will still choose Teslas.
Well, it was a big moment, and it's one of those kind of telling things. Here's a CEO of a major car company out in an electric vehicle experiencing that experience, and his kids are pointing out, hey, there's a Tesla charger, why can't we go there? And, this is kind of an aha moment. Anybody who's been in an EV out in the world kind of understands that the challenges of trying to charge on the go, how that can be kind of a headache. Yeah. One of the benefits of the Tesla system is that it's just really intuitive. It just works, just kind of like how your Apple phone works. They've created this network, and it's a great moat for them that they are now letting other people into.
But I think, Brett, that's the genius. Everybody else is building EVs and hoping that all these companies build chargers. And I know everyone's like, well, 90% of charging is done at home. Yeah, it's fine, but what about the other 10%? When you're on the road, if electric car runs out of charge, you're a brick. You are a paperweight. No one's going to get you 5 gallons of electricity so you can be on your way.
I still wish there were more supercharging locations so that I never had to take a detour, but he is right.
Absolutely. And I think to the point of, is he unlocking capability for his competitors? Yes, he is, because the world will be better off and Tesla will be better off if more people feel comfortable buying electric vehicles. A Tesla EV against any other EV will win any head-to-head competition on value per dollar, performance per dollar, safety per dollar, whatever metric you want. And so by enabling Tesla to charge other EV companies to charge at their stations, it'll allow Musk and Tesla to underwrite a larger supercharger network and allow the world to transition to electric vehicles more quickly.
Unless you're rolling into a supercharger in a $120,000 Model S Plaid and you got some dude in like a Chevy Volt, right, parked in the last spot. That's when you might not.
But the part of it, two things. One, he's going to induce these other manufacturers to provide Tesla with data as to what is the status of their charge, what superchargers are they going to, so that the system can balance, so you have availability. And if you have more stations, then there will be more likely that you can be intelligently routed along your journey so that you can get in and plug in and get out as soon as possible.
I absolutely agree with Ark Invest's Brett. Tesla vehicles are much better in basically every single category that you can measure. When you look at how inexpensive Teslas are compared to other equivalent vehicles. So as long as Tesla keeps making its EVs better and better than everyone else's EVs, Tesla opening its superchargers to other manufacturers will not hurt Tesla. It will only benefit Tesla, because you will have a supercharger on every single corner and you won't have to ever, maybe at one point, take any detours from your destination.
Solar City. We never talk about this with Musk. Are we singing too much Muskian praise?
Well, going back to what I said originally, he deserves huge credit for building out a network of charging stations that everybody wants. Per what the other two guests have just said, he's been an incredible first mover in the field of electric vehicles. And you know what? I'm not sure what that's actually worth in the end. There are plenty of first movers who have made people comfortable. Their business ideas who have not been the ones who have succeeded over the long term.
That is true, but looking at how innovative Tesla is, I don't think that is going to be the case here.
Jim Chanos pointed out to me, my longtime pal Jim Chanos pointed out to me that Tesla's now a car company. 90% of its revenues come from making and servicing automobiles. Either it wins or loses on the back of its cars.
Yeah, but investors look at the future. They don't just look at what happened in the past. You look at what is going to happen. And for Tesla, the energy storage business is going to get a whole lot bigger. The full self-driving business, the robotaxi business later is going to be huge, although that will take a while. The car business is just the beginning.
And to be honest, as all my friends know, I shouldn't be allowed to drive, so I'm not going to opine on whether Tesla is going to win the EV race or not.
Well, there's hope for her. Once Tesla solves full self-driving, she will be able to get in a car, enter a destination, and the car will just drive her to her destination.
But on to Solar City. So what I do know is that I spent a lot of time doing a piece on Solar City for Vanity Fair, and no one can look at Musk's adventures with Solar City and not come away with a question mark about Elon Musk and who he is and his representations and his use of government subsidies. So how that shakes out for Tesla in the EV race, I don't know, but some skepticism is warranted.
Elon Musk certainly pushes the envelope, and occasionally he does go a little bit too far, and then there are consequences and it can backfire. But overall, Elon's approach, you can't argue with it, it has worked tremendously well. But specifically about this Solar City deal, I think it's quite unfair to attack Elon on this because the court upheld Musk's win in this $13 billion lawsuit over Tesla's Solar City deal.
Can any of you name the largest freshwater fish in the state of Michigan? It's the muskie. It's the muskalung, the muskie. And I just have a feeling there's something it just vibes with me. The muskie, Michigan, that was the dumbest thing I've ever said on TV.
I just looked it up and it seems true. They are indeed very big. Seems appropriate. Everything that has Musk's name should be big. And in this video, I talk about why Tesla board members are not buying more Tesla stock. My name is Matt. Post this, like, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.